Dawn of 17th August 1945, Indonesia proclaimed its independence, marking the birth of a new nation. The proclamation was made by none other than the dynamic duo Sukarno and Hatta. But the path to freedom was not as simple as an announcement. The newly formed nation faced a myriad of challenges. Among them, the struggle for recognition. It was like a newborn baby crying out for attention, trying to make its voice heard amidst the loud chatter of the world. Aside from recognition, the nation also had to grapple with establishing a functional government. It was akin to laying the first brick of a house, deciding where it should go, how it should be placed, and what should be built around it. It was a monumental task, but one they undertook with unwavering determination. By 1950, Indonesia had gained international recognition and began its journey as an independent nation. Entering the 1950s, Sukarno, Indonesia's first president, steered the country towards his vision of guided democracy. Sukarno's era was a whirlwind of political and social change. His leadership style was unorthodox, blending nationalism, Marxism, and a unique interpretation of democracy. Sukarno believed in the power of the masses, and he often bypassed formal institutions to directly address the people. His foreign policy was characterized by a balancing act between the East and the West during the height of the Cold War. Sukarno's non-aligned stance culminated in the Bandung Conference of 1955, where 29 African and Asian countries met to promote economic and cultural cooperation and oppose colonialism. However, Sukarno's ambitious plans came with a hefty price tag. The economy struggled under the weight of large-scale national projects and military expenses. Social tensions bubbled beneath the surface, leading to political unrest. Despite his charismatic leadership, Sukarno's era ended in economic turmoil and political unrest. 1965 marked a turning point in Indonesian history with the rise of General Suharto. The power transition from Sukarno to Suharto was not simply a change of leadership. It was a seismic shift that transformed the political, social, and economic landscape of Indonesia. Suharto's ascension to power was marked by a strategic consolidation of military and bureaucratic control. It was a period of profound political realignment where the old order was dismantled and a new order was established, aptly named the New Order. The economic development under Suharto's new order was notable. The technocrats, a group of Western-trained economists, played a significant role in shaping the economic policies. Their influence and expertise were instrumental in steering the country towards a more open and market-oriented economy. The 1970s brought an oil boom, fueling a period of rapid economic growth and industrialization. Indonesia capitalized on the global surge in oil prices, and the revenue from oil exports was used to fund development projects across the country. This was a period of economic optimism, where the promise of prosperity seemed within reach for many Indonesians. But the new order was not without its social and political implications. While economic growth was impressive, it was marred by widespread corruption and a disregard for human rights. The Suharto regime was known for its authoritarian rule and its ruthless suppression of dissent. The Asian financial crisis in 1997 hit Indonesia hard. The rupiah plummeted and the economy went to a tailspin. The crisis exposed the vulnerabilities of the Indonesian economy and the shortcomings of Suharto's economic policies. Public discontent grew, and protests erupted across the country, calling for political change. Suharto's resignation in 1998 marked the end of the new order and opened a new chapter in Indonesian history. His three-decade rule had left an indelible mark on Indonesia, for better or worse. The legacy of the new order continues to influence the trajectory of Indonesia's economic, political, and social development. Post-1998, Indonesia embarked on a journey towards democracy and reform. It was a significant shift, a new chapter in the nation's history, bringing with it a wave of change and optimism. The transition to democracy was not without its challenges, but Indonesia, resolute and determined, pressed forward, making significant strides in the process. One of the landmark moments of this era was the first direct presidential election in 2004. It was a momentous occasion that signaled a fundamental shift in the political landscape of Indonesia. Power was now in the hands of the people. They had the right to choose their leader. a privilege they had been denied for far too long. As Indonesia stepped into the new millennium, its economy began to flourish. The digital economy and e-commerce sectors in particular saw an unprecedented boom. These industries transformed the way business was conducted in Indonesia, opening up new avenues for growth and employment. They became the driving force behind Indonesia's economic transformation. But the journey was not all smooth sailing. The country faced numerous challenges, particularly in areas such as corruption, human rights, and environmental conservation. Corruption, deeply rooted in the system, proved to be a tough nut to crack. Human rights issues, too, continued to be a cause for concern, and the delicate balance between economic development and environmental conservation became a critical issue. Despite these challenges, Indonesia's achievements in the reform era are commendable. The country has made substantial progress in combating corruption, with several high-profile cases being brought to light. Efforts to improve human rights have seen some success, with the government taking steps to address the issue. And while environmental conservation remains a challenge, Indonesia is making strides, with initiatives aimed at sustainable development and conservation gaining momentum. Today, Indonesia stands as the world's third-largest democracy and Southeast Asia's largest economy. It is a testament to the resilience and determination of the Indonesian people, a beacon of hope and a symbol of what can be achieved when a nation is united in its pursuit of progress and prosperity. As we look ahead, Indonesia's economic future holds promising potential. The nation stands on the brink of a digital revolution, leveraging technology to fuel economic growth. A rising middle class is reshaping the consumer landscape, driving demand for higher quality goods and services. Meanwhile, substantial investments in infrastructure and education are laying the groundwork for long-term prosperity. Yet, this journey isn't without its challenges. Balancing economic advancement with sustainable development is a crucial task, ensuring that growth doesn't come at the expense of the environment. Inclusivity, too, is key. It's essential that the fruits of progress are distributed equitably, allowing all Indonesians to benefit from the nation's economic strides. But these challenges are not insurmountable. They represent opportunities for innovation, collaboration, and resilience. With a clear vision and determined spirit, Indonesia is poised to turn these challenges into stepping stones towards a prosperous future. Guided by its past, Indonesia strides forward with optimism, ready to embrace the opportunities of the future.